Championship Pairs Free Skating Competition. First, the referee from Northridge, California. Please welcome
Hello and welcome back
Madison.
to the 2024 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships here in Columbus, Ohio. We are chatting with you guys, sitting here ringside at the Nationwide Arena. I am one of your hosts, Ashley Wagner.
And I am one of your other hosts, Adam Rippon.
And
straight
together,
from
we
Columbus.
never did pairs.
No, we didn't.
But
We are a pair now.
we are a pair, and we are excited to talk to you all about this pairs event that is about to get started. And tonight, a new champion will be crowned.
That is absolutely correct, Ashley. That's how a competition works. At the end,
We are coming to the end.
someone gets crowned.
Someone gets crowned, but a new champion will be crowned here tonight. Alexa Knierim and Brandon Frazier have since stepped away from competition, the reigning national champions currently, and the title is really up for grabs. When you look at this group of skaters out here today, it truly is anyone's game. There's about a 7-point spread between the top 6 currently.
Yes, Ashley, it really is anybody's game, and even more so now that the reigning silver medalists are not competing. They withdrew after the short program. They are winning short program. They are not going to be competing here in the free skate today.
And of course, the reigning silver medalists, Emily Chan and Spencer Howe, withdrawing from this event. They did compete in the short program and had a fantastic showing, ended up in first, and have opted to withdraw from this event. Spencer has been recovering from shoulder surgery, and when I was speaking with their coaches earlier today, they mentioned that it was just smarter to allow them more time to get some training with this free skate under their belts before they went out onto competitive ice. Here are the standings entering the free skate.
In first place, we have Kam and O'Shea. We have McBeath and Parkman, Plazas and Fernandez. It's going to be a really tight race for the podium.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, you see Chan and Howe's name underneath the standing, the current standings, and they are withdrawing from this event due to his need to recover a bit more from his shoulder surgery. I think making the smart move, because when you're lifting a woman over your head on a sheet of ice with no legs, you famously need shoulders, head, shoulders,
Knees and toes. And that is what you those are the 4 famous things that you need to do in pairs.
and that's really it.
And that's it, and a partner, the 5th thing.
And that's amore.
Yes.
It's been a long day, you guys, but we are excited to get the pairs event, the pairs free skate started here in Columbus, Ohio. The first group about to start their 6-minute warm-up.
Mokhova and Mokhov. Ellie, Korytek and Timmy Chapman. Competitors, your warm-up, your 6-minute warm-up begins now.
So as this 6-minute warm-up gets started, let's talk about the pairs event. There are 11 elements in total. We are going to be looking out for a twist, a double, or a triple. In the short program, there are certain required elements. The free skate, guess what? You have some freedom. Surprise, surprise.
Yes, freedom, but also required elements.
Freedom to do these required elements. So you will see
there is a catch to the freedom you receive.
A twist element, 2 different throws, 2 side-by-side jumps, 1 solo, 1 in combination or a sequence, a combination spin, a death spiral, which cannot be a forward inside. This is pretty much the one rule. The forward inside death spiral was the required element in the short program. So this is really how the sport makes sure that we are working on some variety. We have a choreographic sequence and then 3 lifts, just as long as they are not all from the same group.
And when Ashley's talking about group lifts, there are 5 group lifts, and you would determine what group these lifts are in from the way that you enter the lift.
Yes.
Is she backwards? Is he backwards? What is their arm position? And that's going to determine the group that lift falls into.
And then on top of that, things to watch out for. You have features, which add to the level. We will be talking about levels throughout these programs. You have a level 1 through 4. Obviously, level 4 worth the most in base value. And then on top of that, you might be wondering, so what do the judges do? They decide the grade of execution of these elements, how well you're executing your elements.
That is true. Ashley, when you said, what do the judges do? You looked at me and I went,
I don't know.
What? I
never did know.
But now I do, because you gave a really excellent explanation of what the judges do.
And Linzy Fitzpatrick and her partner, Keyton Bearinger, you just saw Linzy working through her combination jump there. A little bit sticky, and this is something that they did struggle with in the short program. On your screen next will be the brother-sister team, Maria Mokhova and Ivan Mokhov, and a dynamic and almost vintage style of skating. It reminded me of 90s pair skating, but in a really good way. They're a fun team to watch. They really have a nice flair, and where they can run into some problems, though, rotation. And that's going to be a pretty consistent thing that we talk about throughout this event. Rotating your elements. The singles elements are going to be the make or break in this free skate.
What I really like about Maria and Ivan is, like you said, Ashley, I love this vintage style. Their parents were skaters and they competed, a while ago. I meant to say not competed. I meant to say did shows together. And I think that when they did shows together, they did all of these crazy, cool transitions that really make their children's programs so entertaining, so different, and that has that really retro feel.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Following them will be Ellie, Korytek, and Timmy Chapman. And they had a fun short program.
I loved their short program.
Little Michael Jackson medley.
Yeah.
They both were so committed to the characters, too.
Yeah, they were not afraid to perform, and if there's one thing I love, it's a performance.
I want to see some finger guns. I want to see some pointing and winking. I want to see a little body roll, and they gave me all of that.
They did.
And then on top of that, some pairs elements.
Yes, and they were really strong. I think that they had just, for them, a really strong skate. And in the warm-up of the short program, she came down really hard on their twist. She hit her chin on his shoulder, but they skated first, and she recovered. And I was really, really impressed with the way that she handled herself in that situation.
Absolutely. They only have throw doubles planned here, but they are a new team to the senior level. And for them, getting onto senior ice, it's just about the experience. They do not have the most technically difficult program planned, but when you can execute these elements, there's a lot of value in that for a younger team because they know that they can get out onto national ice and feel calm and in control. That really helps out later on in their career.
And this is such an exciting event for these pair skaters because we are in an almost packed arena, and these fans are watching pairs, a lot of them for the first time, so you can hear the gasps for every element they're doing. So this is going to be a competition that I think these skaters remember for a really long time.
Oh, absolutely. The fans in the stands here in Columbus have been absolutely fantastic. And I mean, Adam, we are looking at a upper bowl with people in it, which I'm going to be honest to the viewers at home, we haven't seen that in quite some time. It's really cool for skaters to be able to skate in front of such a packed audience.
I think that the turnout of this audience is something that's really going to help bring a lot of energy to these skaters. And, I'm really hoping that we have a great event.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Linzy and Keyton taking this last 10 seconds of this warm-up just to kind of get their legs underneath them and get prepared for this free skate.
Competitors, please to the ice. Skating Club of New York. Please welcome now Linzy Fitzpatrick and Keyton Bearinger.
It is time to get this pairs free skate at the U.S. Championships underway. This team making their second appearance at the U.S. Championships. They finished 11th last year. The 23 and 25-year-old who train in Canton, Michigan. This is Linzy Fitzpatrick and Keyton Bearinger.
They are going to open up with a relatively easy twist, a double twist, but really nice.
Struggled with that side-by-side jump in the short program and just finding a little bit of issue with the timing there.
Now, as we make our way through this program, it does not matter if one partner does more of a jumping path than the other. You will only get credit for the lowest level jump that the partner does. If someone pops a jump, you only get credit for the pop element. Headed into another throw loop, and smart. They were either going to do a triple or a double, opting for a safer double for them.
Some issues in that free skate, but there were some really positive moments, Ashley.
Oh, I completely agree. They have a few elements under review. We do have a lot to kind of unpack here, but before we really get into that, I just want to highlight how beautiful I found their lifts. I mean, her extension is just absolutely absolutely stunning. The way that they're also able to move from position to position, I feel like that's a huge strength for them here. But when we look at this team as a whole, you really have to think about the program with every element included, and they have a lot of these pairs elements and singles elements under review currently.
Yeah, actually, it just felt like there was some timing that they just weren't getting together. I agree. I feel like the lifts were definitely the highlight of this program. Just beautiful extension, great coverage. When you're watching these lifts, you can look at the footwork of the man. You really want to see no snow blowing up, and you want to see that they're covering as much ice as possible, that the lifts are being exited with the same speed that they've had all throughout. That's something that's really important, and I think that they did that incredibly well.
Oh, absolutely. Starting off this program, they began with a double twist, an easier twist at the senior level to be competitive internationally and also to really be fighting for that top spot here at U.S. Championships. You're going to need a triple twist. This side-by-side triple sow ended up being the problem element for them. You are only going to get credit for the double sow that Linzy completed instead of the triple sow that he was able to get around. So
you can see in this side-by-side jump where he does the half loop double sow cow, she fell on the double axel, so they won't get any credit for that half loop double sow cow that he performed.
But this is where I really love their skating. I mean, her extension, she is pointing her toes. I love a woman who knows how to point her toes at them.
So do I. I think a good toe point is great.
This here was smart. They had the option of either throw triple or double loop, and in these free skates, you want to rack up as many points as possible. And if you don't feel secure with a throw triple and a throw double is going to be much more in your wheelhouse, opt for the throw double, stand up, because falls can be really disruptive to the moment that you're creating. And so, yes, it's safer. No, it's not as technically difficult, but it really helps make the program feel a bit more whole. So 89.41 with a 1 point deduction for this team, 132.67, and that is going to get our free skate here in Columbus, Ohio started.
They represent the Greater Grand Rapids Figure Skating Club. Let's welcome now Mokhova and Mokhov.
This is our third time seeing them on senior championship ice. The brother-sister duo were 8th at Skate America this season and 7th at this event last year. Skating runs in the family. They're coached by their parents, Mokhova and Mokhov. Really lovely speed headed into this twist.
And that's what I mean, these little steps, turns, toe steps. It just reminds you of ice shows like the Ice Capades back in the day in just such a new and modernized way.
A really unique throw. You don't often see triple toe throws in competition.
And done fantastically.
Adam, this is where she can struggle a bit on the singles elements. Those side-by-side jumps can be a bit of a hurdle for her.
Yeah, the technical panel is going to review her double axel for rotation.
Adam, I just felt like today was a little bit tight for this team. It was a little bit more reserved than we've seen from them in the past. This is a team that can be really, really fast and dynamic. And I felt like once they made that opening mistake on the side-by-side element, we just lost a little bit of that momentum that I know they can carry through.
Yeah, once they made that first mistake, it just felt like they were just trying to find their footing again. But, you know, it didn't take away from the charm that I love about their skating and that this program had. I really love the way that it was choreographed. I think it's really original. I think it's such a nice callback to the show skating of yesteryear.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that when you have brother-sister teams, you have to be mindful of what you're skating to. But that being said, skating is about connection. And it's really easy for people to just automatically assume the traditional love story of skating. But it's all about connection. It's telling a story together on the ice. And I do feel like they really created this environment and this vibe that transported us back to a different time. This is their opening triple twist. Things you're looking for on a twist. You want the height. You want her to be way up there. And I feel like they have room for a little bit more height and control on the way down.
This being one of the best elements of the program, that throw triple toe loop.
This is where they did start to struggle a little bit, and rotation can be an issue. You are going to get a review there. The triple toe is going to be called under rotated, so they're only going to get 25% reduction in base value of that element.
And in this pair spin, you see she's in the camel spin before he was in the camel spin. That's required for them to get the level. He lifts her up. That's their difficult exit. They get a level 3 for that.
And today, not at all what they are capable of. We have seen them really go out and compete something a lot more technically solid. But sometimes with these national championships, when things don't go the way that you want to, it's a huge learning opportunity. This is still a very young team. She's only 17, he's 24. They have a lot of time and years left in their career.
Yeah, Ashley, and this is only their second appearance here at the U.S. Championships. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of room to grow, but I really love their style, and I just love what they bring. It's different. It's unique. You don't see other teams doing, this quick footwork all throughout. It's really difficult. It's not easy to add all of these little steps and turns.
Absolutely. That quick, it takes away from your speed, and they are still able to carry speed throughout this program.
Right. When I think of doing those steps and turns, I'm tired just thinking about it.
I'm tired.
I don't want to be tired, but they said I don't care.
They said it doesn't matter to us. We will Mazurka.
I want to see Mazurka.
Their free-skating score is 88.31.
88.31 with 3 points in deductions, 139.82. That will be good enough for first place currently. And a lot of lessons learned here at this U.S. Championships for this team.
Representing the Skating Club of New York, a warm welcome now for Ellie, Korytek, and Timmy Chapman.
Next to the ice are the reigning junior champions training out of Irvine, California. They are looking to make their mark here in Columbus at their first appearance at the senior level. Here is Ellie Korytek and Timmy Chapman. Currently around 7 points from third.
They are opening their free skate with their triple twist.
That is such a fabulous element for them. The air time is fantastic.
A bit wild on the catch, but yes, that's a great height.
That was a planned side-by-side double loop.
Some of these teams are going to opt to do the side-by-side doubles because they have a better chance of landing them together, and it's all about getting as many points as possible.
Really cool transition out of that lift. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone go from a death spiral straight into a pair spin.
Issues getting the lift up right there.
That's going to be a very costly mistake for this team.
in these pairs programs, these lifts are worth
they're
so
the bread and butter.
many points. Great dismount.
And I feel like today was really an example of them just being more of a junior team working their way up to senior, not getting that lift up. That is an extremely costly mistake, and that's something that with just a little bit more time out on this elite ice, they'll be able to navigate those challenges a bit more seamlessly.
Totally. And you know what? They went out there, they planned what they could do well. It was a much easier program than we'll see from some of the other teams, but what they did well.
And I appreciate that approach. I would love to see side-by-side triples, and that is the goal here. But I would also prefer to watch you go out and stand up, because to me, that takes away from the program when you're watching teams go through their side-by-side elements and fall. I'd rather you skate securely instead of risking something. And so, of course, they're going to be frustrated with that lift. Lifts in pairs, that is where you get your points.
Yeah, you said it best. It's the bread and butter.
So that's really going to hurt this score. And it was a great program up until that moment. I mean, this twist here, like you were saying, could catch her a little bit more cleanly on the way out. You want it to look effortless. This double axel, there's going to be an under rotation call watching Ellie. It's a little bit short on rotation, so they're only going to get credit for the variation that she completed.
But this, the crowd was eating out of their hands when she dipped
my God,
down.
popcorn. They really loved it. It's cute. We have people behind us who are, I think it might be their first time at a pairs event. They are loving this. Okay, this, I've never seen anyone do this before. They came out of that death spiral, pulled right into this pair spin. And that requires a lot of strength, but it's also just unique. Pairs, a lot of these elements can start to look the same, and when you do something that is memorable like that, that's going to affect your grade of execution. The judges love that.
And here are the scores for Ellie, Korytek and Timmy Chapman. Their free skating score is 93.26.
So 93.26 for the team and a total of 148.83, and that is going to push them into first place for their senior debut here in Columbus. Let's take a look at our current standings. So Ellie and Timothy in first place. Then we have the brother-sister duo up next and finishing out that first warm-up. But now, working our way into Group 2.
Isabelle Martins and Ryan Bedard.
I am excited for this group, Adam. I think we have some potential for some really good skates.
Isabelle Martins, Chelsea Luke, and Balazs.
You know what? Sometimes the announcers don't get it right.
But then they correct themselves.
And then that's what's important.
Absolutely. The 6-minute warm-up getting started now.
Ashley, I agree. I am excited for this warm-up. There's some really good teams out here. I think my eyes are going to be on Balazs and Chelsea. They really have the opportunity to make a big case for themselves to end up on the podium.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, sometimes the announcers don't get the names right, and sometimes the commentators don't either.
Exactly. Sometimes people make
Sometimes
an
people
error.
call Balazs Alaj.
Exactly, which isn't his name.
No, it is not. On your screen now, Nica, Digerness and Sadusky. in the short program, a little bit tentative, a little bit out of sync, and they did end up doubling a planned triple in their side-by-side. The technical side-by-sides, this is where they can struggle together as a team, but when you watch this team, their lifts, oh my God. This pair camp that they are training out of has always done a really great job at helping teams establish unique lifts and fantastic extension. So watch out for them. I love their lifts. They're a very elegant team, a very classic looking pair team.
And Nica hits some beautiful positions.
Oh my goodness, for such a tiny woman, she makes herself look like she extends boards to boards.
Yes. Beautiful throw, triple toe by them.
Yeah, I'm feeling good for them. That looks awesome. Up next will be Isabelle Martins and Ryan Bedard. This was a really great senior debut for them so far. That short program was fantastic. A clean throw triple twist, or sorry, a clean throw triple sow. Their twist was where they ran into some issues, just a little crashy. You really want to make sure that you are putting these lifts down with control. And so while we have a second, let's talk about it. You're looking for great height in the air. You want to basically see a woman chucked out of the rink above the man's head. That's ideal.
You'd think that being chucked out of the rink would be a bad thing, but it's actually a great thing.
It's a good thing. Now, the cleanliness of the catch. You want to see him catch her away from his body, and sometimes they can catch them on their shoulders. Basically, if it looks a little bit dicey or messy to you, it looks the same to the judges. It should just be nice and seamless. You want to see him have so much time that she's up in the air that he can bring his arms down to his sides and smack his thighs.
Yes.
Before he catches her.
And that'll actually help raise the level of that twist, because you're showing the judges how much height and power that you have, that you can have the opportunity to do that. And you'll see this right here.
This, I think, is the best twist in the event.
Absolutely.
Their pairs elements are so good, and I'm amazed because this is a new team. And
yeah, Ashley, they've had some success on the Grand Prix. They medaled at Skate America earlier this year.
I'm really excited about them as a team. They can struggle with these solo singles elements, those side-by-side jumps. That's what is currently holding them back. Chelsea popped her planned triple sow into a single, and this is the element we're talking about.
Now, sometimes Chelsea can just... for the pairs. I think for a good score, we're looking for a total of 180 to 200. A great score would be 200 to 215, and a phenomenal score would be 215 plus.
That twist that we just saw when we were talking about a clean landing, you do not want to catch your partner on your shoulder. It should be away from your body. That takes away from that grade of execution. So watch out as we move through this free skate. for those twists to really be clean and secure with tons of flow in and out of the element.
Yeah, and the bigger the twist, the higher...
The bigger the twist, the bigger the score.
The higher to heaven is what they say in pair skating.
I've heard that.
The higher the twist, the more opportunity the pairs have to raise the level because they have a better opportunity of having that cleaner catch. The girl can have her arms over her head, and they can have this better, softer landing where he is catching her on the hips and just dropping her down to the ice nice and softly.
Dropping softly.
Yes. And what was the term you used? Scratchy. I think that's...
Crashy.
Crashy. That's the technical term that they do use.
They represent Broadmoor Skating Club and the St. Mary's Ice Skating Club. A nice welcome now for Nica, Digerness and Sadusky.
This is their second appearance together as a team here at the U.S. Championships. They finished 8th last season, currently 7.5 points from 3rd. Nica, Digerness.
some issues with some of these elements, but Ashley, like we said, really the positions that Nica hits are so beautiful.
So beautiful. And not every single team on this national ice is fighting for a spot on the world team. For some of these teams, making it to this stage is the accomplishment. And then beyond that, this is really a great opportunity to honor the training that you have put in over the season. A couple of mistakes that they made are going to be very, very costly, but what I was really impressed with, one of their lifts on the way up, you could tell that Mark was fighting, and it was about to go down. And if he puts the lift down, you get no credit for that element, and he said, not today.
No, he said not in the U.S. Championships pairs free skate.
He said these elbows, consider them locked.
They are locked, and they are loaded, and Nica's not going down.
And I'm really impressed with that, and that's the kind of stuff that you want to see from athletes competing on senior ice. You got to fight through those difficult elements, and that's exactly what they did here today.
Yeah, and you know what? I think everyone here really respects the fight that Mark had in that lift.
So they opened up with a planned side-by-side double toe. The singles elements can be really challenging for this team, so they went with something that was easier, but I thought that was a pretty smart move. Next up, their triple twist. Nice air time. Nice
a good
flow.
attempt,
yeah.
A bit of an issue on that landing.
They had the best throw toe in the warm-up. I was so surprised here, and just kind of a wonky exit out of that. She wasn't really able to pop up as fast as she normally could. Again, another planned side-by-side, double sow, double toe, single axle.
Now this lift was one of the highlights of the program for me. Just beautiful extension, great coverage around the rink, and the dismount was just beautiful.
And right here, pushes her up, no problem. And then she gets right to work, that fantastic extension. And a really difficult exit coming out of that. But for this team, I mean, they showed off what they are capable of, and that's something that they should be really proud of here today in Columbus.
Hi everyone at home, gotta be eating cocoa, Lila Fink. Thanks ever, see you on ice.
And here are the scores for Digerness and Mark Sadusky. Their pre-skating score is 101.40.
So it'll be 101.40. They have a 1-point deduction after that fall. And 157.12. It's a season's best for them. And they are going to go into first place. A huge accomplishment for them and a great way to finish off this competition here in Columbus.
They represent the Chicago Figure Skating Club and the Northern Ice Skating Club. Please welcome Isabelle Martins.
This is a team
Bedard.
that is absolutely a potential podium threat here. They are only 5 points from third, 3-time U.S. junior medalists. They skated together for 8 years, ended their partnership in 2022, and then got back together in January of last year. 5th at Skate America this season. Isabelle Martins and Ryan Bedard, 6th after the short. really important element for them here. Throw triple loop.
Saving the landing a little bit on 2 feet.
A really surprising fall out of that lift there.
Aside from the issue with that last lift, it's really unfortunate because it really felt like they had just so much energy and momentum throughout this program. There were some really positive moments. You can see, they're upset. I'm sure it's a mistake that they don't make at home, but there's a lot of good to take away from this performance.
And I think that mistake on the lift highlights just how difficult these lifts are. It's about your timing, working together as a team, having the right amount of tension, making sure that your weight is over each other and your blades. It can be really difficult to get these lifts off on fresh legs, and then as your last element in a free skate, you're already running on tired legs, and I feel like that's a little bit of what we saw here today.
Yeah, it's written all over their face. That is not how they wanted to end this free skate.
I mean, they really are in podium potential, and you want to be racking up as many points as you possibly can, and when you put down a lift without completing it, you are going to receive no credit. It's dashes across the board for them.
Now this twist is an element that they haven't fully perfected yet. She's landing low on his shoulder. They're not going to get a great grade of execution on it, but this was one of their best elements.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the more difficult side-by-sides that we've seen in this competition so far completed that well. They did run into some trouble here. She only ended up completing a double sow instead of the planned triple, so they will lose some points there.
And this throw triple sow cow, beautifully done.
That was great.
You can just see the way she's opened up the air position and just lightly lands to the ice.
I was really impressed with the strength he had here. This carry is a feature, and to just skate with that much control, really impressive from Ryan. This
and it's
next
so
lift, though,
difficult, Ashley.
This
These
is
lifts.
where they ran into some trouble. She just wasn't really quite over him as they start these rotations. You see he tries to save it, but she gets a little bit too rotated around him. It makes it hard to keep control over your blades.
And what's so hard about that lift is that he was going to turn clockwise, readjust, and then turn counterclockwise. And it can be so hard to really shift that momentum so that you don't get out of control, and it just got the best of them.
Their free skating score is 107.75.
So 107.75, 165.93. That is a season's best for them, and they are going to go into first place.
They represent the Skating Club of New York. Let's welcome now Liu and Balazs.
They are looking to make good on some mistakes they made in the short program. They have podium potential. They are not far from the podium. It's their first season together. They train in Irvine, California. This is Liu and Balazs.
Triple twist.
Phenomenal. She almost floats down into his hands.
Next up, the element they struggled with in the short program. She needs to
holding on to the landing of that throw triple loop. The strength and the speed of these lifts are Thanks for lifting me.
Thanks, pal. Now, they have a lot of elements that are currently under review. This program as a whole was decent, but not quite what they are capable of as a team.
This was a good program, but it was littered with mistakes.
And tiny mistakes here and there. And they're going to end up losing some levels, but they're really affected by the grade of execution. Those are the sneaky points where you want to get the most out of an element that you possibly can from the judges. Her throws were a little messy, some flips out. She saved them, and she's going to get the points for them, but the GOE is going to go red. They're going to lose points from the base value of that just because of the quality of the element. But they're their lifts were just the stars
Phenomenal.
of the show.
I love the look of this team, and if they can, and this is one of our favorite moments.
Oh
this
my
twist,
God. Oh my
phenomenal.
God. Look at how high she is. She's almost at the Columbus where champions will be crowned sign.
And you can see he's slapping his arms down. He's slapping.
And
but the
catches
catch,
away. Yeah.
the catch is what's so impressive.
That was insane.
This is where they struggle. This is where, if they are able to address the issues they have on the side-by-side jumps and the throws, this team could be somebody who has the potential to be competitive on the world scene.
Totally. And at least she pulled in here. She doubled that element in the short. But I don't want to have to say at least she pulled in, because Chelsea Liu is a better skater than that. So that is where they're just going to have to figure out what is going on with the side-by-side elements.
But the positions, I mean, some of the best in the world.
I love how quickly they move throughout them. This is their throw, Sao. A really nice save here. She hangs on. She could have fallen, but nope, she stays somewhat upright. Negative grade of execution for sure, but she's a fighter. That's where you really see her pairs experience shine through. She knew how to stay up on her feet.
Yes, and Ashley, this is their first season skating together.
I mean, that blows my mind. They really do look like they have had a lot more time under their belt. In the Kiss and Cry, you see current reigning national champion Brandon Frazier with partner Alexa Knierim, who was actually here coaching some junior pairs teams earlier on in this event. But this is a team that I'm really excited about. I think they look fantastic on the ice. They do need just a little bit more time to become one.
Yes, definitely. And you know, they have the potential to be great. And I think this is just the first step in their journey.
So 118.70, a 1-point deduction, and a total of 178.83. And that is going to be good enough for first place. That twist and those lifts absolutely carried them through this competition.
Yes, and Ashley, when we talk about the work on the side-by-side jumps and the throws for this team, you know, it's more than just doing a jump. It's finding that timing, the same exact timing as your partner, and that is what can be so difficult. You need to change technique. You need to adjust timing, and it's easier. It's not as easy as just going, okay, I'm going to work on my triple Salchow. It's working on it with your partner and adjusting so that two can skate as one.
Exactly. So a look at your current standings. Chelsea and Balazs, who we just watched, currently sitting in first place. The rest of the group, I think the fact that they are on national ice is the accomplishment here. Some mistakes here and there, but we have one more group of pairs left in this event after a short Zam break.
And we'll see right after the Zamboni.
We'll be back.
In Boston. I'm joined right now by Doug Zagat, CEO and Executive Director of the Skating Club of Boston. World Championships are in Montreal this year. In 2025, they are coming to Boston. Doug, tell us about the World Championships coming back.
We're excited to bring it back. It was last in Boston in 2016. We're looking forward to welcoming the world back. We'd love to see Columbus come on over to Boston. And I think our audiences will be as good as the audiences.
Let's meet the next group of competitors as we take center ice for their introductions. Alisa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov. Valentina Plazas and Maximiliano Fernandez. McBeath and Daniil Parkman. Ellie, Kam and O'Shea. Competitors, your 6-minute warm-up begins now.
Welcome back to the 2024 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships, and the final group of pairs is on the ice now for their 6-minute warm-up. And Adam, a really exciting final group for us here today.
Ashley, this is where the gold medal in this championships will be decided. And we had some drama actually earlier today. Katie McBeath broke her blade in the warm-up. She broke it right in half. She was doing a throw double lutz with her partner, came down. She said, I think something feels a bit weird. She showed.
It says that I have 2 blades instead of 1, where 1 should be.
Right, exactly.
And luckily, they were able to get a replacement for this boot and blade. So she's skating on 2 new blades because they wanted them to feel nice and even. They were able to get onto some ice and just test it out, see how it feels. But skating on new blades, I mean, you're used to training and your equipment feels the same every single time. So this is just another factor thrown into the mix here. On the ice now on your screens, Alisa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov. I was talking with their coaches, and they were just talking about her training, her work ethic, how they work well as a team. She's only been in the States for about 6 months, grew up in Finland, is Russian, but an exciting team. And her coach was saying that she really actually reminded her of Katya Gordieva in the way that she's so focused, the way that she trains. And I mean, she's a beautiful, beautiful skater, stunning pair positions in those lifts. So really excited to see what they put out tonight. Currently in 4th, Valentina Plazas and Maximiliano Fernandez. And they had a fantastic short program, all level 4s on every single pair's element. And they were a great example of going out, skating clean, and just squeezing all of those points out of a program.
I thought that they had a really great skate in this short program. And I really like how their short program was a really classical music, and they're going for something totally different here in this free skate. I think that's something that's really exciting.
And this next team, Katie McBeath and Daniil Parkman, this is who we were talking about, who had to have that blade change when she broke her blade on the warm-up earlier this morning. Adam and I watching the practice, we see one of their coaches run off the ice, and
not really showing any issues right now, doing those beautiful throws.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely not. But with these pairs elements, it's crucial that your equipment feels as secure as possible. So they were able to get 2 new blades, not just 1. They wanted it to
are here competing on behalf of the Skating Club of Boston. How about a warm Columbus welcome for Alisa, Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov.
The final warm-up here in the Pairs Championships at the U.S. National Championships. This team trains in Boston. They need 118.36 points to lead. This is Alisa, Efimova, and Misha Mitrofanov. Their goal is to make the podium.
This is a new pairs team, but they both have had success with previous partners. Watch out for their pairs elements. That's where they really shine. Gaining speed headed into their opening triple twist. Flying.
Some issues on rotation of that triple toe.
Except a crucial element, their side-by-side sow. She hangs on.
Now this is how you make a debut at the U.S. Championships.
Oh, Adam, I really like this team together. I feel like they bring that classic refinement that you're looking for in pairs. They were so captivating. I thought that everything they did for a first season together as a team, they looked like they knew what they were doing. They looked like it was very organic for them. It looked easy. I'm really impressed with them.
I'm really impressed with the effort they showed here in this free skate. Ashley, when you're skating with a new partner, there is going to be a learning curve. But they both have so much experience, and they're both such good pair skaters that, you know, in the moments where they had to fight, they are not going to let any of these elements go. And you saw that in the fight for some of those throws.
Oh, absolutely. So their singles elements, those side-by-side jumps, triple toe is going to be under-rotated, so they're going to lose a 25% reduction in the base value of that element.
Lieutenant Colonel, thank you.
I do wish they were able to just connect a bit more as a team. They still seem very focused on the task at hand. And hey, I'd rather you be focused and go out and get your job done and then build into the connection. But that's really the next part to their skating, where they can elevate and escalate what they're offering up as a team. This opening triple twist, it was really just about getting the job done, and you can see that they are so secure in that element.
Yeah, just really well done. But right here you can see Alisa just tightens up just a bit on the triple toe, some issues with the landing. And then they do this side-by-side single axle.
And I would be excited in the future to see that become double axle, and that's something that they're absolutely capable of. But speaking with their coaching team, they said she is the one who really does need to start putting in the work and getting a little bit more comfortable with those jumping elements. So when you have a new team like this, a lot of time is spent just getting that timing as one, as a unit with the pairs element.
But look at the fight there. If she got any close to the board, she'd have to buy a ticket for the first row.
But she's such a pro. Her experience is really shining through here.
I mean, the fight.
I'm excited about this team. I really do like them. And a lot of their elements beyond...
They have such great chemistry together, too.
Yeah, they really do. Well, I mean, when you spend so much time working together, this is what it looks like to really pay off.
Skating scores
126.43, a huge score for them, and it's going to be a total of 186.91. That's a new season's best, and a great way for them to wrap up their first national championships together.
They represent the Panthers Figure Skating Club and the Skating Club of New York. A nice welcome now for Valentina, Plazas, and Maximiliano Fernandez.
They were the 2021 U.S. Junior Bronze medalists, and they are looking to move up onto the podium this season. They were 5th at this event last year. They're coming off of 2 4th-place finishes on the Grand Prix circuit. This is Valentina Plazas and Maximiliano Fernandez. A bit there on that side-by-side triple toe.
On the music.
Adam, that was really great for this team. I remember I actually was on the same ice as them this summer, watching them just really start to put together these programs, and I'm so impressed with how they have moved through this season. They've gotten better with every single showing that we've been able to see them.
Maximiliano Fernandez.
And I said this yesterday, I love a committed bow. Stay in character.
It's what Lady Gaga would have wanted. Yes, there were some mistakes in this free program, but there were some really, really great elements.
They do struggle with those singles elements. They only competed a double sow, double axle sequence. The double axle is going to get her under rotation. She ended up popping a planned triple toe into a double toe, so they only get credit for the double toe. But their twist was fantastic. They had great lifts. And then on top of that, they are competing some of the more difficult throws that we are going to see in this event.
And actually, I'm really excited to see this twist again. They got a level 4 on this twist, and just so well executed. This element alone is getting an extra 1.5 in grade of execution.
This is where they did find a little bit of trouble popping into a double toe. She's falling out of the element, so a little messy and leaving points on the table here. They're only a point behind Kam and O'Shea right now after the short program, but they're going to need every single point that they possibly can get. I'm just really impressed with these lift positions and the trust and security that they have throughout them. This is one of the more difficult throws in the event. Throw triple flip.
Really nice height, but coming down on 2 feet, just spinning out a little bit out of control. That control is something that they're going to have to work on if they want to be more competitive on the international stage. But they had the crowd eating out of the palm of their hands during this lift.
The people loved this lift. We loved this lift. And I mean, they just really shine when it comes to their pairs elements and the security in those lifts. You want to trust a lift. I don't want to watch a lift and wonder how it's getting up.
Me either.
I just want to enjoy it, and they allowed that opportunity for me. Scores coming in now. The suspense.
Their first score is 117.85.
It'll be 117.85 for the free skate and 181.03 for this team, and another season's best here in Columbus. But they will fall behind, and that will be good enough for second place.
They represent the Winterhurst Figure Skating Club and the Skating Club of New York. Please welcome McBeath and Daniil Parkman.
This is their first appearance here at the U.S. Championships together. They find themselves in second place after the short program. Like we said earlier, Katie had some issues with her blade. It cracked. She had to get new blades before this free skate. But they looked absolutely fantastic on the 6-minute warm-up. This is Katie McBeath and Daniil.
how they wanted today to go, but after that blade breaking on her warm-up earlier today, really anything could have happened, and just getting out onto that ice and being able to keep it together, I mean, mistakes were made, points were left on the table. There is less than a point separating them from Ellie and Danny, and I'm not entirely sure if they made a case for themselves.
Ashley, I feel like they've left too many points on the table, too many issues. Yes, they were trying some of the hardest elements, that side-by-side triple flip, but Katie having some issues with the rotation, so it's going to get downgraded. She's going to lose a lot of points on those grades of execution. And, you know, that opening triple toe, that was supposed to be a triple toe double axel, missing out on a lot of base points that they had.
But new blades feel completely different from what you've been training in, and then on top of that, you know that something's different. It can affect your timing, it can make you a little bit tight.
But they started so well with this beautiful triple twist, and this is where the problem started. But Ashley, just like you said, it's a new partnership, right? That's something that you need to think about. And then on top of that, you're not feeling totally comfortable on these blades that you've only skated on for 6 minutes in the warm-up.
I mean, a new partnership, that's one thing. New equipment, that's another thing entirely. You really do get used to the weight of your boots, the way that your blades feel, the way that they're mounted, the direction that they're facing on your boots. There's only so much you can do to feel super comfortable with these elements. And when you're dealing with something so new, it's going to affect you. And I feel like that's really what we saw here today.
But so much fight and so much power on that throw triple Lutz. Absolutely beautiful.
There's a lot of promise with this team. I would absolutely say this is a bit of a fluke, but they were really they were thrown into it.
I mean, they're going to learn a lot from this experience. If they can survive having to change their equipment the day of, you know, if they made this mistake very early on in the practice. So that means they didn't get to practice at all this morning. So they had to do this program cold. There's a lot to learn here at this U.S. Championships, but I think this pair has so much potential.
Yeah, I would really just latch on to their short program and focus on that representing what they're capable of as a team. This is just a monumental, astronomical thing that they are having to deal with right now. It's very rare that you have to make an equipment change this close to a competition. Watching them in the short program, they were so clean, they were so exciting, their elements were really, really nice. They are competing throw Lutzes. I mean, they are so capable, and I just don't feel like this demonstrated everything they have to offer as a team, and I also think that's kind of understandable.
It's very understandable, but you know, some major errors in that free skate.
Kam and O'Shea next to skate on the ice, waiting as the judges tally up these scores.
Ashley, the door is wide open for the gold medal.
Oh, absolutely, especially with Chan and Hao withdrawing. And this team, if anyone could go and grab that top spot, I mean, it really could be Ellie and Danny.
Absolutely, and Danny is a national champion already. In 2016, he won the national pairs title with his former partner, Tara Kane, so he has been in this position before.
He knows how to skate up to that title, and I really think he's a great partner for Ellie. She's newer to pairs, and for them, it really is just about going out and checking off their elements. They don't need to do anything crazy here.
No, they just need to keep calm and focused.
108.60.
108.60 after that free skate, and 172.81. They are going to drop down to 4th place. A lot of mistakes, a lot of points left on the table, but a really frustrating set of circumstances that they just had to navigate today.
They represent the Thunderbirds Figure Skating Club and the Skating Club of New York. Let's welcome now Ellie, Kam, and Danny O'Shea.
They were bronze here at this championship last year. The door is wide open for them to win this championship, to come away with gold. The 19 and 31-year-old who train in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Their journey begins now. This
I mean, Adam, it wasn't the perfect skate that they would have wanted here, but I feel like they absolutely did enough to really fight for that top spot on the podium.
I mean, they have an advantage of being ahead of Efimova and Mitrofanov in the short program. There's some major errors, but the elements that they did complete, they did so well. The lifts, Danny is as strong as an ox.
He is a strong and sturdy base, and that is what you need for these lifts. And I mean, I'm always just so impressed by Ellie. She is a newer skater to this discipline. She was a single skater for quite some time and then recently made the switch over to pairs, and it just looks like such a natural transition for her. She has beautiful lines. I really enjoy her style, her movement on the ice, but today wasn't perfect. And Efimova and Mitrofanov, they are 4 points back, but technically they were also very strong today. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this shakes out.
And Danny and Ellie just have such a beautiful presence on the ice. They really, like, in their in-between skating, it's magical, it's beautiful. And I'm really excited to see what this team does. This event is a lot of new teams. It's a lot of teams that haven't been skating together very long. And it's you know, a new generation, a new cycle of pair skating in the U.S.
I mean, it's a big transitional year for American pairs as a whole as Alexa and Brandon step back. It's, like you said, a ton of new teams. This being one of them. They have a little bit of experience, but still relatively new. Had some success on the Grand Prix circuit. They found themselves in 6th place in Finland. They withdrew from their first Grand Prix in France. And so for them, gaining that experience, here you have their throw triple loop. They missed this element in the short.
But this
Same
is already,
here.
it's a big step forward, Ashley. Last year at the U.S. Championships, they weren't doing all throw triples. And this year, here they are, improving their technical merit, and they're fighting for a gold medal. Will it be enough?
We'll see. 123.19 with a 2-point deduction and 187.76. And we have our new pairs champions.
This is their first U.S. title together. This is Danny's second U.S. title. A great moment.
A huge moment, and becoming a national champion, a U.S. national champion, it can really help you go out internationally and just skate with that extra command, knowing that you represent the best that this country has to offer. Of course, internationally, they have some work to put in to become competitive on that stage, but a huge moment for Kam and O'Shea here in Columbus.
For me, the program of the night was Efimova and Mitrofanov.
Absolutely.
I was so impressed with the way that they skated tonight. They skated with command. They skated with finesse, and they skated like they weren't a brand new team who just started this summer.
They skated like they were chasing for that title, and I think with a few more competitions under their belt, a couple more run-throughs, some more practice as a team, this was their debut on the senior stage. I think that they are going to be one of these top teams for us to watch in the years to come.
Here you see the full results, the full final result of this pairs championships. Plazas and Fernandez finishing the podium. Chelsea and Balazs getting the pewter medal here at the U.S. Championships.
And that is a wrap here at the pairs final event. A new champion has been crowned. Next up, the award ceremony. But for Adam and I, we've been chatting with you guys all day, and it's time for us to go take a little break.
Yes, but you know what? You promised there would be a crowning, and there will be. So you followed through. So thank you for teasing that.
Oh yeah, there's a crowning. We will not be participating in that, but what we will be participating in is the men's event tomorrow. So make sure to tune in for that. Come back for the men's event and also the gala. Lots of fun in store tomorrow.
Welcome to the 2024 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships Award Ceremony and presentation of medals for your pairs champions of the United States of America. In fourth place and winner of the pewter medal, representing the Skating Club of New York, Chelsea Liu and Balazs Nagy. Medal, representing the Panthers Figure Skating Club and the Skating Club of New York, Valentina Plazas and Maximiliano Fernandez. Second place and winner of the silver medal, representing the Skating Club of Boston, Alisa, Efimova and Misha, Mitrofanov. And winner of the gold medal, representing the Thunderbirds Figure Skating Club and the Skating Club of New York, Ellie, Kam and O'Shea. Medals will now be awarded by the President of U.S. Figure Skating, Mr. Sam Oxier. States of America, let's really hear it for them. Chelsea Liu and Balazs. Valentina Plazas and Maximiliano Fernandez. Alisa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov. And Ellie, Kam, and Daniil O'Shea.